Welcome to the first ever live stream edition of Trailer Trashing. I am your host, Joey Rinaldi, and joining me as they do every week is our chief editor producer, Charlie Weinshank, and our local funny guy and local computer wizard, Derek Blythe.
Yeah, computer whiz.
Are we going with that?
I don't think after today we're not going with that at all.
Well, you know more than me and Charlie combined, which is
Not
something.
true. I could be a wizard of sorts.
Guys, as we said last week, Charlie aired his first premiere of his movie, and you just had an award ceremony, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't win anything, but it was cool. Artie Bucco's wife was there.
Was she hot?
Joey.
That's a Joey question. A female?
Find her hot.
Whoa! Cool.
If you didn't catch it in the time before, like it happened before the episode came out, so you probably didn't catch it. But you can catch it anywhere between the 14th and the 18th on the San Antonio Film Festival's website, because that'll happen after this episode comes out. So
San Antonio, that's where I lost my virginity back in '88.
Yeah, Joey's still a virgin, probably.
Yeah, I know. And Derek, how are you? Is your sanity back to normal now that you're not making songs every day anymore?
No, not really. It's yeah, man, it's never been there.
Sanity doesn't just come and go. You either have it or you don't.
You've been weird and sad for 29 years.
Well, I wish I had something like eventful to contribute to the conversation, but unlike you guys, I've just been doing a whole lot of nothing. Like the only thing new with me is that like my players in my 2K game are getting so old they're retiring now because I'm like in year like 2040.
Oh, really? Oh, you're not talking about in real life.
No. I'm talking about like in my video game.
But
God,
game
it's really
is
hard
real
to
life.
pretend that I care about 2K and your fucking shit, Joey. I don't care about 2K.
I didn't say because I thought you cared. I'm bringing it up because that's all I got. Without 2K, I'm nothing. I'm nothing, Jerry.
I like how you say that in front of like 13 guitars. Like that's your 2K. At 13 guitars and a wash basin and a Middle Eastern instrument and like pipes and.
This is where I shower, everyone.
Well, I'm very thankful that the three of us is a podcast and not a band, because if we were a band, you guys would have kicked me out already. Because we tried doing a jam session last week, and let's just say if you thought Derek got annoyed in the podcast, wait till you hear me trying to play and sing music with Derek.
Was I good, guys? wait, guys, I know this one. That was great. Right, guys? It flows out of me. It flows out of me.
In the moment, it did flow out of me, and it felt great.
That totally School of Rocks.
Oh! Which, we're going to do, you know what? You said it, so I'll bring it up. School of Rock is the first movie we're going to do today, and School of Rock is within the theme of imposter movies. That is the theme today.
Imposter!
I forgot what the theme was, honestly.
You just thought the theme was Jack Black and music for a second.
I thought it was Charlie has a lot of guitars in his basement theme of the week and a wash basin.
Nope, it's Imposter! Jacques!
Well, from High Fidelity and from Saving Silverman, it's clear that we're a pro Jack Black podcast.
I love Jack Black.
I know. The only time Derek doesn't like Jack Black is when the producer forces Jack Black to be too Jack Black, like in High Fidelity.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like that, like honestly makes me so sad because, like, imagine your career is like being yourself, and then at a certain point in your career, you don't want to be yourself so much that someone has to like
pay you money,
raise the price so that you can be yourself.
I'll give you another $1 million if you just do that fat boy dance we love so much.
I don't want to be myself anymore.
But I'm excited for imposter movies because it's really a theme that I love. Like any movie where the guy's like, okay, I'm going to go into this and change my identity for something. It's normally like a 90s like rom-com where the guy's like, I'm going to pretend to be this guy so this girl will bang me. Like, like,
I'm your new nanny.
Have you ever seen The New Guy?
Yeah.
Nope.
That's like my all-time. We're not doing it today, but that's like my all-time favorite imposter movie because it's just like this loser weirdo who fucking tries to be cool to impress girls, but then at the end of the
Is
movie,
that the one
they
where
remember-
like within the first 5 minutes they like break his dick?
they break his dick and
The
if
teacher's
anyone,
like, "What's this?" And she like breaks his boner in half, and then the credits start.
yeah,
I do not know this movie.
It's such a good movie.
I gotta say, not to sound like a complete idiot, but this theme is like a very movie-y theme. And what I mean by that is that it's like when we were talking about this theme in the group chat, I was thinking about, I was like, nothing comes to mind right now, but it's like I can just picture it. It's like, how many times has happened where it's like the main character is pretending to be someone that he's not, and you're sitting there going like, oh gosh, he's gonna get caught at any minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like all the best movies. Catch Me If You
Yeah,
Can's like
exactly.
that. Another one we're not doing.
School of Rock.
I feel like Jim
a
Carrey.
couple
The
of
Mask?
Inglourious Bastard scenes.
Yeah.
Dominic De Coco.
Would the Mask
Gorlami.
count? Would you count the Mask
Gorlami.
as a imposter movie, Derek?
I think that's like more like identity crisis kind of movie. It's imposter-y with his like love interest, but I guess maybe I don't
That's
know.
like multiple personality disorder. Not
Well,
really,
the
but,
mask
like-
makes you like what you imagine, what you want to be. So he was a crazy
Yeah.
cartoon guy, and the mafia guy became a super gangster.
I haven't seen that movie since I was like a little kid. Since like the time that we all went over to my friend Aiden's house in like 4th grade,
Aiden.
and we watched. Dude, literally do you guys have experiences like this? The only time I've ever had to like get taken home from a sleepover party was this time. We went to Aiden's birthday party at his house,
Aiden's birthday party.
and we all watched Jumanji. There was like 10 like
Oh,
8-year-old
Robin
kids,
Williams.
and
Whoa.
we watched Jumanji, and within like the first like 20 minutes of the movie, we were all so freaked out that like half of us had to call our parents. to
From
go home. Like,
Jumanji?
I literally went home. I was like, a haunted board game. Get me out of here.
Mom, come get me! Robin Williams is stuck in the floor. There's horribly animated monkeys trashing cars.
I literally didn't even get that far. It was literally like the fucking it was the nosebleed in the fucking like underground fucking.
I know
The
what you're
beginning
talking
scene
about.
is creepy though, where he's
No,
just,
the beginning
it
of the
freaked
movie
me
is
out.
very creepy. But
I
Charlie,
remember
I'm glad you brought
hiding
that up.
under the table.
I'm glad you brought that up because as you said on this podcast before, like you weren't allowed to watch a lot of like inappropriate movies growing up.
I had a very sheltered childhood.
And it's funny you say that because I didn't have a sheltered childhood. I feel like I'm the spitting image of somebody who doesn't have a sheltered childhood. And it's funny because like I was like unfazed by movies. Like I remember being like 6 years old watching like Freddy vs. Jason, being like, this is my favorite movie. I want to see crazy killing shit. And so that's like a perk, I guess, of having no rules as a kid, but maybe that's bad. I don't know.
You think that I would say that one of your former examples of not necessarily this, but you once said on the podcast that for all of your childhood you would just watch Love Actually every
Yeah,
night
you did
before
say
you went
that.
to sleep.
That
This
wasn't
is like
that wasn't my childhood. That's something I grew into at like 11 years old. Before 11, I was straight up horror movies.
That is the perfect example of a child left to do whatever he wants. Is someone who fucking watches Love Actually and just leaves it on every night and wakes up to the fucking DVD music.
But
You
Charlie,
probably had that
speaking
memorized, right? Like the DVD, 30 seconds would play, and you'd hear it in your dreams.
But Charlie, speaking of sheltered children, in School of Rock, I feel like there was a lot of sheltered children, which leads
it's
me.
private school.
I think we should get to our first trailer, the Jack Black classic, the musical fun, the little kid classic, School of Rock.
Yeah, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage, baby.
We're taking the Battle of the Bands seriously this year.
Good, because I need the money.
You're out.
You know what? I'm gonna form my own band, and we are gonna start a revolution. Come on, man. One show, $20,000 prize. I mean, don't you miss rocking out?
Maybe it's time to give up those dreams. I did, and things are going really great for me.
Temping.
I'm not a temp, I'm a sub, and soon I'll be a certified teacher.
Is this Mr. Schneebly? Mallory. I'm the principal here at Horace Green Prep, and we need somebody to start immediately.
So how much are we talking here?
$6.50 a week.
Hello, this is Ned Schneebly.
Everyone, I'd like to introduce Mr. Schneebly.
All right, look, I've got a hangover. Who knows what that means?
Doesn't that mean you're drunk?
No, it means I was drunk yesterday. I heard you in music class. You guys can really play. Why didn't anyone tell me? I think it's time we started our new class project. Rock band.
Can we tell our parents?
No! Lead guitar, Zack Attack. On bass, Posh Spice. Keyboards, Mr. Cool. Drums, Spazzy McGee. You three, groupies. So who do you like?
Christina Aguilera.
No.
Puff Daddy.
Wrong.
Liza Minnelli.
Oh, what do they teach in this place?
We have a red alert. It's Mullins.
To your positions! E equals MC squared. Oh.
If from now on you could just stick to the curriculum.
Is she always like that?
Except for the time she got drunk.
She did a Stevie Nicks impersonation.
I love this song. Stevie Nicks.
You know what? I would love to take the kids to a concert. But you guys have a policy about field trips.
Maybe we can make an exception.
Yes! Ooh, baby, ooh.
Paramount Pictures presents.
I don't think I can sing. They're gonna laugh at me.
You've got something everybody wants. You've got talent.
The story of a man who gave a class the power to break the rules.
Who are they?
They're my band. I know they're kids, but they're awesome. Just listen.
And the inspiration
I pledge allegiance to the band.
to rock.
And if you want to be a teacher,
Jack Black. The School of Rock.
I can sing.
all right, Summer, belt it.
Memory all alone in the moonlight.
Stop. Okay, good. All right.
Richard Linklater. God
Wow!
damn.
Jesus Christ, that was a trailer and a half. I love trashing trailers. That's the name of the show. Well, it's trailer trashing. But the thing is, I can't trash that. That was nothing but good old family fun.
God,
This
yeah,
is
that's
Ned
a fucking
Schneebly?
awesome. You want to know something about this movie and me and my
Bring
my-
it on,
my-
sister.
my history with this movie? I mean, first of all, I love Richard Linklater. Always been kind of a name that I wasn't sure how to pronounce.
What has he made besides this?
He's made
Dazed and Confused, right?
Dazed and Confused,
Boyhood.
Boyhood. The list goes on
The
and on.
Sister of the Traveling Pants.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm
but this
fucking with
movie.
you.
Did he make High Times at
Fast Times at Ridgemont
Fast
High?
Times at Ridgemont High?
No, So that movie he made, Dazed and Confused, was almost like a response to like that type of movie being like, we got to
Yeah.
bring these movies back, because that was like 10 or 15 years before.
He's
Dazed and
actually got a
Confused.
lot of underrated hits, and that's the thing about him in this movie is that like he is just so versatile. Like most directors have like kind of like a thing. He does whatever the fuck he wants. Like this is a fucking bomb ass kids movie, and Boyhood is like, you know, I don't want to get into Boyhood because I don't really like it. But
Yeah. I saw the trailer and I was like, talk about a trailer that I would fucking roast. That trailer looked awful, but that's not today.
I mean, I saw the movie.
Today
Anyway,
we're talking about fucking imposter movies, and right now it's School of Rock, and let's stick on School of Rock.
So School of Rock, literally, like I had the DVD as a kid, but then I got an iPod, and I was like, I gotta get School of Rock on this. So I bought it on iTunes, and then I've literally given so much of my own money to this movie. I've bought it 3 or 4 different times. Like I own it on like all. I don't own physical movies ever. Like I never do that. But I bought 4 different versions of this movie. I fucking love this.
You
movie.
know why I love that fun fact, Charlie, is because you, to me, like when I met you like in your 20s, so I know you as this dark, cynical, like I hate the world person, and like
Yep.
School of Rock is like the complete opposite of that. It's like the heartwarming, sweet, lovable thing. And
It's rock and roll.
And like, I want to know the Charlie that like is like, I'm gonna buy this because it makes me happy. Like I want to know that Charlie.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm getting a
just
taste of
also-
it right now.
Yeah, I love guitars. They have great guitars in this movie. I'll tell
Totally.
you what. This is some
What?
information you didn't
I'll
need to know.
tell you what.
Jack Black plays a classic Gibson SG that like fucking other guy who got arrested like 2 years ago for stealing guitars. The main character who like shreds on the Flying V. He plays a Gibson Flying V. The bass player, she plays a vintage Harmony bass that I actually had when I was a little kid. My uncle had one of those and he gave it to me for a little while. I had that bass when I was watching that movie.
Is the bass player the iCarly girl?
No,
No,
she's
she
the
was the
manager.
manager. Yeah.
Charlie, speaking of which, you're talking about the cool kids. Fun fact, all the kids in this movie actually
Are
played
dead.
instruments. Well,
Yeah.
that too. No, but they actually played the instruments. A lot of like musical movies, like biopics about musicians, oftentimes they're just like not playing it and they just have the sound going. But this one,
Yeah.
they have like stunt
But
doubles.
this biopic,
no, but like biopics about like like Johnny Cash and
Yeah.
shit. This one
Yeah.
actually like the kids were playing the music.
I'm Johnny Cage.
also, on top of that, first of all, fun fact that I said before, but I'll say it again so that if anyone didn't get it, they get it now. That kid, the main character, shredding guitar kid who like plays the Flying V and has the lead guitar parts, he grew up to be some sort of like fucked up like drug alcohol guy. And like
Who
2 years ago,
hasn't?
but he was arrested a couple of years ago stealing guitars out of like a Guitar Center.
Oh my
Before
God.
before we go down memory lane on all these like sad lives of these kids, Charlie, can you break down what the trailer looked like for the people listening to this just audioly?
The podcast people, now that we're kind of like multimedia, what do you call it? Tycoons.
I've always loved that word.
Yeah, so basically what happened in this trailer, basically we had Jack Black, who is this burnout guy. He gets kicked out of his band for being too party hardy, too rock and roll lifestyle kind of guy. They kick him out. They're like, you can't kick me out. And they're like, Dewey, you're out. You're ruining this band.
They kick him out of maggot death.
So Charlie, you're describing my conversation with you and Derek every week.
yeah, exactly. So he's kicked out of the band. He has no way of making money. He's a total burnout. He lives with his ex-bandmate.
Still
turned
sounds like me.
straight edge temp teacher.
Ned
married to-
Schneebly.
Yeah, Ned Schneebly, who's dating Sarah Silverman.
Right.
Funny enough.
She's
and
so cute. I love Sarah Silverman.
Who's surprised by that comment? Anyway.
No, like she's like her personality's cute.
She is cute though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck
I
you,
got
Charlie.
nothing against it. Okay. Anyway, so he's like, I gotta make some money. So what does he do? He picks up the phone. Someone's calling for his roommate, who is a temp, Ned Schneebly, and he's like, you know what? I could do this temp stuff. And so he takes the job, and what does he do? He doesn't teach the kids anything. These private school stuck-up little snobs of children. He teaches them to rock, and rock they do. They go all the way to the Battle of the Bands, and yeah, I guess
And they
that's it.
teach him a thing or two along the way.
Yeah.
So Derek,
Exactly.
what did you? How did you feel about this trailer? What would
I
you
love
rate
this. This definitely. It took me back. I don't know if you guys, like, when you were growing up in middle school and stuff, like, you get dropped off at the movies.
Yeah.
And you and your friends, like, you try to do a double or triple feature where you just kind of sneak into the next one. Well, this one, like, it had such big, like, memories for me because this was my 13th birthday. We had
Bar mitzvah time.
We had tickets for School of Rock. We got dropped off at School of Rock, and I was like, Mom, like, cool out for 4 hours because we're going to get into something else. So we watched this, had a great time, and then snuck into The Grudge. I think The Grudge had come out at that
Oh,
same
that's a middle
fall.
school movie for sure.
Yeah, so we laughed our asses off at School of Rock and then went into The Grudge and were just absolutely terrified. And then and it was also like a Friday night or something. It was full. So we were like illegally like sitting on the floor and shit watching The Grudge. And so we like it was like a spend the night thing too. So we were at my house and just like terrified
Oh, like Jumanji.
the rest of the night. So I give this, yeah. So we were just like, I think I saw the Japanese kid on the stairs. It's like, I don't have stairs.
You just brought me back to like my
We're
fucking
poor.
childhood. So what would you rate this trailer? You movie stealing motherfucker.
I give it an 8 out of 10 Jack Blacks.
I give it a full-on 9, and that's the real deal. Like, I love this.
That sounds like a boner. Like, bro, I got a full-on 9 right now, dude.
I would give
I got a real chub.
I would give it an
full-on
8.5. I would give it an 8.5, but just seeing a glimpse of Joan Cusack bumps it up to a 9. So
It's a 10.
No,
it's a 9.
I'm giving it a 9. So
I'm
now,
just surprised that you don't give it a 10 because you're like quick with the 10s, Joey. And this
I'm
is
not
fucking
quick with
bold.
the 10s.
No, this didn't have any TNA, just kids and Jack Black.
That's true. That's true. But Joey likes kids sometimes.
Unless you count
Charlie,
Joan
I'm only
Cusack.
quick with the 10s when they're in my pants, if you know what I mean. Oh.
He's got a full-on 10.
I don't.
Yes, you do. You know exactly what he's
Rate the
talking about.
Rotten Tomato scores, you rating people.
Who goes first? Who goes first?
Charlie, you go first.
Is that because I won last
Yeah,
time?
you won last time. Don't rub it in Derek's face. He's sensitive.
That's right. You know, this is a classic, and it's Richard Linklater. He's good. He knows what he's doing. I gotta say that this is probably, I'm gonna go conservatively 83.
Derek, please counter. Give me your best counter. I know you got this.
85.
Derek wins. I knew Derek was gonna get this. It was actually a 91. You have to understand.
This is why I don't go conservative.
You have to understand when a movie is as beloved as Jack Black playing music with the kiddies, it's gonna be high. Rotten Tomatoes eats that shit up. Joan Cusack's in it. I'm the biggest Joan Cusack fan in the world. If she's in something,
Joan and John.
John's okay, but she's no Joan.
It's true.
And now we're going to move on to my favorite part of the show. We didn't have him last week, and I was sad, but we have him this week. Guys, babyface Roger Ebert.
The Biebs.
The Bieber himself, the Eagle Man, and he gave it a 3.5.
That's almost a perfect score,
Almost,
which means
but it's
absolutely nothing, as you listeners know.
Why do you hate Ebert and me? You hate the way Ebert and I rate stuff.
It's not that I hate you or Ebert. It's that I hate you, and I hate the way Ebert kind of just waters down his own scale. It's like
didn't Hangover 2 or 3 also got that score, almost perfect score, and he's like,
this is
I like
so
the
close
monkeys
to a
and
perfect
farts.
score.
Hey, go easy on the Ebert, man. He's a good guy. He pays his taxes.
What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
He's dead.
Let
That's
him
right. He
come
can't
right
say
here,
shit.
right now.
Let him have a peaceful, like death, I guess. Why do you have to go so in on him all the time?
Because he hated Home Alone, and I have beef.
Because he's a guy. He's a renowned movie critic, and all he does is give things anywhere between 3 and 4, which is like out of 4. If you're going 3 and 4 with all of your movies and somewhere in between, that means nothing. It's like they're all passing.
Well,
I mean, I
Human
guess
Centipede got 0. Because he
I still haven't
didn't know what
seen
to
it.
do with that.
So
The Human
Charlie,
Centipede.
instead of berating this beautiful, amazing cutie of a dead man, can you just read what he had to say about it, please?
All right. Note, I have absolutely no clue why this movie is rated PG-13. There's rude humor and some drug references, the MPAA says. There's not a kid alive who would be anything but delighted by this film. It belongs on the MPAA's list of shame with The Whale Rider and Bend It Like Beckham. 2 other PG-13s perfect for the family.
I love Ebert. Can I have a fun fact. Can I tell you the fun fact? This was supposed to be
Stand by for the fun fact.
Fun fact. So, this was supposed to be a PG movie, but like right before it was gonna get released, the production company really wanted to be a PG because they would have gotten more ticket sales that way.
More dollars.
But like right before it happened, like they were like, wait a second, Jack Black makes a joke about drugs, and drugs isn't PG. And that's the only reason. It's the only reason why.
He says weed,
What
and then
was-
he goes,
But that's like the best kind. That's the best it gets with Ebert is when he's like, when he's not even talking about the movie, but he's like he's bringing up some sort of grievance he has with the rating system.
I say that all the time. Well, I think Derek actually said it first, and then he made me realize it. But I agree because it's true. Like when Ebit's like mad about a rating or like a production company like decision, it's always in for a treat.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any last thoughts about School of Rock before we move on?
Kind of. I
Timeless
as many
movie.
good memories this had. There's also some bad memories of Jack Black too, because at a job I had where I was in like a safari costume and I had to take people's pictures in front of King Kong at the Empire State Building.
I thought you were King Kong.
I was both. We switched. But when I was the like safari person, this was like a few years ago, like weekly there would be a tourist who would be like, "Oh, you're supposed to be the Jack Black," and I'd always be like, "Holy shit, I have to lose weight."
Oh man.
Even like when whatever year the new one came out with what's his face, I was like, no,
Jumanji?
No, the new King Kong where he's just in Vietnam instead. I was like, no, I'm that whatever his name is.
Is that the one with
Famous
the guy with the schnoz?
What?
That's not the new one. That's the one that came out like probably like 10 years ago.
No,
the French schnoz guy. Come on.
Loki from Avengers was the new Jack Black.
Derek, I
he's
want
got
to
a
tell you.
schnoz.
I want
Whatever
to tell you
his
something. I want to tell you something. Jack Black was so big in this movie that when he does the fan surfing at the end of the movie, they had to hire like really strong stuntmen to be able to catch him. And I want you to know, that's not you, baby. If you were fucking doing the fan diving, they would get the weakest people ever because you're so light. They don't
all
need...
right, let's get the school bus of weak orphans.
Yes,
We're
because
good.
that's how light
actually-
and skinny and cute you are, my man.
That reminds me. Have you
my
ever seen that
God.
interview? That interview after Superbad with fucking Jonah Hill, and he's really pissed off. And he's like, "I've been on Atkins all day because every time I get on an interview, people like you ask me what it's like to be ugly, and now I need to lose weight." Do you ever see? It's actually heartbreaking. It's really sad.
Well, talking about heartbreaking stuff.
Leave on that sad note, leave that little taste in our mouth and move forward.
Yeah, let's move. Well, I was going to say, speaking of heartbreaking stuff, Martin Lawrence, after the movie we're about to watch, suffered like a really bad coma and was like out for a week or two. But let's not talk about his sad coma. Let's talk about the amazing movie that I love that features Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle, and Luke Wilson, which is Blue
I've never seen this.
Streak. I love this movie. It's a classic. It's a real imposter movie if you want to talk about imposter syndrome.
He planned the heist.
Come here, gorgeous.
He stole the rock.
Good doggy. Where's the nearest exit?
And he hid it in a safe place.
Put your hands up. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent.
2 years later,
I'm free. Damn. When I left, you was like, plickety cacao. Now you like, boom.
his hiding place is not what it used to be.
Is this really a police station?
Of course.
Now, to get back to his rock.
Piece of delivery for robbery, homicide. There's two kinds of people that get through that door. People wearing handcuffs, people wearing a badge.
He'll need the ultimate disguise.
I'm a detective. I know the real reason that you're here. Excuse me? You're the new lead detective. Me?
We're gonna be partners and this thing's like a marriage.
No, this is nothing like a marriage. It's more like a one-night stand. Wham, bam, thank you, officer.
He's keeping the peace.
Put your hands on the pavement. Miles? Tully?
Protecting the innocent.
You don't get that kind of training at the academy. Believe that.
And taking the law
I'm a cop.
damn into his own hands.
If my client gets so much as a scratch on him while he's in your custody...
You can't touch me.
Ow! Detective!
If he walks like it,
How'd you get so good?
if he talks like it,
You might want to buckle up.
He's gotta be.
His internal affairs.
Hell no, he's FBI. I'm an officer of the law. Full of it.
Just who the hell are you working for?
I'm a federale.
A federale?
Martin Lawrence.
Tango El Gato Los Pantalones.
Blue Streak.
You just told those men you got a big cat in your pants.
Okay, even though I love that movie, I'm sad the trailer did not live up to how good that movie really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's fine. Here's what I have to say about this trailer. I thought that, yes, it is an imposter movie. It has it has all of that kind of like stuff I was talking about before where you're like, wow, he's in deep. How's he gonna fucking swing this one where he's in this like second life and he's got to figure it out. But something about this that I also noticed was that it was also kind of like a buddy comedy. A buddy comedy.
Yeah, no, it's completely a buddy cop. And Martin Lawrence and Luke Wilson is probably my all-time favorite buddy cop situation ever, because Martin Lawrence doesn't know anything about being a cop. He's just a crook that like knows how to talk his way into situations. And Luke Wilson is a bad cop trying his best to save the job. So throughout the whole movie, there's this funny thing where like Martin Lawrence is like not doing something properly, and Luke Wilson's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" He goes, "I didn't want to tell you this, but I'm secretly a Navy SEAL, and this is how we Navy SEALs do things." And Luke Wilson's so stupid, he goes, "I won't tell anybody." Like, it's amazing. Like, it's the best fucking, like, chemistry between two buddies I've ever seen.
I mean, like, something that's kind of like you can call it an imposter movie, but a lot of these, I mean, it might just be the same thing, but it's a con man movie. It's like if you're an imposter, it's because you can con your way through these situations. I gotta say though, the trailer was like fine. It didn't like do it for me.
It didn't do it for me either. I'm gonna give it a 4. That's how it did for me. Derek?
I'm gonna give it a 2. It was really choppy. It froze a lot.
Wait, you're giving it a 2 despite the PlayStation graphics?
That's where the 2 points comes from.
You're giving it a 2 because you have bad internet. We all know it.
Oh,
I'm just the only one
Charlie.
man enough to say it. That's right, cowboy.
I had one blip. You have one blip.
Charlie, you know I didn't want you bringing up the bad Wi-Fi. That was the one thing I didn't want you bringing up today.
I'm the only cowboy who's not afraid to say it. I would say that the trailer, I'd give it like a 5 because it's not like it was atrocious. It wasn't a bad trailer.
It wasn't atrocious.
It wasn't exciting. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was just 5. It was 5.
I
I'm
say
sure
where it froze? It's froze like where he's delivering fake pizza boxes. So it's stuck. It got stuck on him holding the pizza boxes with the big fake teeth and like coronavirus hair. It like got stuck like that, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Since you're talking about being frozen, the cat's out of the bag. We lost Derek on the Wi-Fi for a little bit.
We didn't lose Derek. We didn't. I'm not gonna admit to that. Maybe you lost Derek, but I'm not gonna admit to anything.
Charlie, deny till you die. That's your motto, and you're sticking with it.
Exactly. We didn't lose Derek. Derek just couldn't see the trailer because he has bad internet.
So I want to, before we go to Rotten Tomatoes, I got some fun facts that I think is worth bringing up. You know how like a few years ago, Chappelle had that special where everyone said he was like transphobic?
I think that was this
year. Is it the one where he came back
that a few years ago or this year?
I don't know. 2020's been so long.
His comeback special, right?
2020's been so long that I'm losing track of shit. But you know how people
that was like 2019, I think.
Yeah. So you know how people are like, yeah, Chappelle's transphobic? Well, I
didn't know that actually.
Well,
I knew that.
Well, this movie is proof that like way back when he actually like isn't transphobic, because originally this movie was supposed to have a scene where Chappelle was supposed to dress up as a woman and pretend to be a prostitute, and that's supposed to be like a comedic gag.
Oh, so he's not transphobic because he'll dress up like a woman when he's paid to do it.
No, wait, you didn't let me finish. So that was supposed to be a comedic gag, and Chappelle literally was like, "No, I'm refusing to do that because like it's not funny."
Because I'll never dress up like a woman.
Like
God
a
damn it.
girl.
Ooh. I'm a fucking man, he said.
No, because he said it's not funny for a man to dress up as a woman because that actually is like people's like life, and like that's like I don't want to mock what people like actually are trying to go through, and like I think it's like offensive.
That's a direct quote.
Yeah, you can look it up. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, like, he like literally because of trans reasons he like didn't want to do it. So good on Chappelle.
Yeah,
he's not
I mean,
transphobic.
I'm neutral on this argument. I was just trying to make fun of you because I thought it was bold of you to make a claim based on something you read about him saying like 10 years ago. I don't know.
No, like this is like 20 years ago, I think.
Maybe he's transphobic now. You ever thought about that? Maybe something happened while he was away and now he hates trans people.
Wait, Charlie,
I don't know.
Charlie, you can also relate to this fun fact. The original cut of this movie was rated R, but the production company was like, no, we want this to be PG-13. And the edit of this movie to make it PG-13 changed so much that the plot actually is very different from the actual like what footage they filmed.
That'll do it.
And you can relate to that because didn't it happen to you?
Yeah, I mean that'll just happen. Like when you're editing a movie, it's like that's the last line of storytelling that it goes through. And I mean we don't need to get all the way into it, but basically at every step of the way in like a movie process, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this too because you guys make like videos and movies and stuff. Like every time someone touches it and it passes through so many different people on the way to the finished product, everyone who touches it changes the story. Like, you know, you write the script, you film it, it changes. You film it, the people acting, they kind of like put their spin on it. And then they edit it, and then they cut it, and they cut it up, and they cut it and cut it again. And by the end, it's completely different.
So, what do you movie buff scallywags? What would you give this on the tomato scale?
Derek, it's your turn, my man.
It is Derek's turn.
74.
I'm looking at Joey's face, and I'm trying to see if that means I should go higher or
Oh,
lower.
wait, this is the bad thing about the camera. You guys can see my expressions. Shit.
Yeah.
I noticed that last time too, and like while I was saying mine,
But
I saw
still
you
won last
get
time.
really excited, and I was like, "Oh no, I lost."
I honestly, my instinct is to go lower than that, but because of Joey's face, everybody, I'm gonna go higher than that. So I'm gonna say, oh, and he's making a face again, so I'm gonna go lower. So I'm gonna go 70.
You guys both saw the trailer. It was like a 31.
Oh, so I win, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't remember watching it. I'm sure I did. I know we had the VHS, I know, but I don't remember.
I wanted to
what
give it the
happens.
benefit of the doubt because of how much Joey likes this movie, but like I just realized like that's like a bad strategy.
Yeah, I'm the king of loving like really like bad comedies that I'm like I'll take to my grave. I'm like I'll justify till the day I die. And
Do you have
Blue
like
Street-
any like really super super like unpopular opinions towards like a movie that you think is like super crazy good that would make us make fun of you right now?
I think anything he says could potentially.
Yeah.
make
But
us
do you have
make
one
fun of
where
him.
you're like it's like largely not celebrated and you're like, I love this, I love epic movie, something like that?
Well, I really love. I don't know if this is controversial. I think Scary Movie 3 is like one of the best comedies. I don't know. Is that controversial?
Is this what you were looking for?
I remember it being funny, but I was also 13 when that movie came out too.
I know I definitely have like I can't think right now for some reason, but there's definitely like a really bad comedy out there that like everybody hates that like I will take to my. I love Animal that Rob Schneider's in. You know that movie, The Animal.
The Animal.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Remember that
I also
movie.
love Hot Chick. I like Rob Schneider's stuff. Like I think Rob Schneider doesn't need Sandler to be great. Oh, is Grandma's Boy? Is that a bad movie? Because I love Grandma's Boy.
No, that's
another one.
That's
movie
a
has a cult
classic.
following. I've watched
I'm
it
in that
maybe
cult.
10 times.
But
I've seen that movie.
speaking of cult followings, I'm in the Roger Ebert cult, and I want to know what my man, baby, the motherfucking face, Ebert, with
Yeah.
Oh,
3.
whoa, dude, he is crazy. He gave it 3 stars.
You want to know why he's crazy for giving this 3 stars? Not because that's only one away from a perfect score, but it's because he's crazy because he fucking put himself in a box. And I know I just said this, but like when you have 4 stars, it's like is 3 good or is it bad? You really can't tell. I don't know what to think. It's so close to a perfect
strange
score.
because like Because, like, when I was in college going to, like, taking film classes, I remember, like, getting Roger Ebert, like, readings and, like, my teachers being like, my professors being like, this guy, what he thinks about film is correct. And, like, no.
Really?
No.
What film school?
Well, there's so many things he says where I'm also like, yeah, I'm fully on board with what you said. And then he'll be like, give Home Alone half a star, you know. And Home Alone 2. I'm still salty
I've
about
heard
that.
you complain about.
I'm so salty about that. He hated
Look, you want
it.
to know what the answer is? The answer is there's no one right answer. You
But,
can't
like,
just
what,
follow one person.
what got... Maybe this should be a whole episode, but, like, I don't... Like, we should, like, dedicate a whole episode to exploring what made Ebert, like, the standard of film reviewing. Like, I don't...
He had a TV show. I think that's it.
And he did it consistently since like 69 or something.
Yeah,
He did
he's
it
had like a really
when
really long.
there
Wait,
wasn't
are you-
it wasn't like the market wasn't oversaturated with people like us doing it on Twitch.
That's true. It was actually a niche market back then.
So
Right.
if we do this consistently, will we be like the what's that word you used before? Mongrant dominant. It was a good word you used before.
Will we be the Mongra dominant?
Mongradominus.
No, no mogul. It was like mogul.
Dominus.
Tycoon. Will we be the trailer tycoon if we do this?
Tycoon kind of more has to do with like kind of your financial situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Will we be like the tycoon of trailers if we continue doing this?
I want to know what you were almost trying to say with Mangre Dominus. Just sounds Latin now.
By the way, if you're watching this on Twitch right now, Venmo us at the Joey Rinaldi. That's
Don't Venmo him. Don't Venmo him.
I don't want to be a tycoon. I don't know
Venmo him.
How do you become a tycoon? Charlie, can you read what Ebert had to say about
I'll show you how to become a tycoon.
Oh, funny story about that hat. Actually gave me like a serious flashback to when I ran for like student government in middle school, and my whole thing was that I wore that hat.
You wore this hat?
Yeah. I literally wore that hat. I and everyone called me.
I have that hat too. Actually, 1 second.
I don't have it anymore, but I wore that, and I wore it to the debate, and
when you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? But
Joey's literally also wearing the hat. All right, no one can wear this hat anymore. It's over. All right, let's read that paragraph. Martin Lawrence is a comic actor with real talent, not always shown to the best advantage. Bad Boys, 1995. His cop buddy movie with Will Smith was not a career high point, and it took a certain nerve to make it another one. That's fair. But Blue Streak works. Lawrence himself is in shaky condition right now, recovering from a nearly fatal case of heat exhaustion.
I told you.
A movie like this is evident that given the right material, he has a real gift. Now he should dial down on the jogging.
What does that mean?
Is that a reference? Is that a reference, Joey?
Dial down on the jogging?
You have to watch the movie. Like
I also I love.
I'm not gonna watch the movie. Explain it.
I love that he said Bad Boys 2 took a certain nerve.
Because that's like the biggest cult following buddy cop comedy of the 90s.
Bad Boy?
Bad Boys 2?
Bad Boys 2 is like the most legendary sequel in movie history.
The helicopter shot. But it took a certain nerve to make it.
I totally forgot, but I posted on Facebook today the movie trailers we're watching, and surprisingly, Blue Streak got the biggest response. Like everybody was like psyched about this. One guy said Blue Streak is the kitty titties, which
the kitties titties.
Wow, so that's some serious responses.
And a lot of people consent that it was like the most underrated movie, I guess.
They consent, huh?
Well, the consensus,
the
consensus. The consensus. I don't know how to speak. Big words hurt me.
Magro Domino.
So you guys have any last thoughts about Blue Streak or the Big Ebert Man or me?
No, there's not much to think or say or anything. Honestly, it was just kind of like a wash. It was just kind of.
It was certainly a trailer.
Then
we watched it.
And
Derek
movie.
had bad internet. That nothing more, nothing less. That's
then Derek, would you be so kind and introduce our final trailer of the evening?
Yes, our final trailer. I know I have watched this movie. I don't remember what happens, but I remember finding it at home while my parents were at work on the DirecTV. This is coming up on pay-per-view, 1999 or whenever this came out. I think that's where I found half of the trailers that we've watched here.
I've never heard of this movie.
No one remembers it, and
I've never heard of it either.
I don't know why
I'm also
I remembered
a little confused because what's with the 1 and the 0 when you were talking about it?
I think you're about to find out.
Yeah.
Whoa! Roll that.
It goes a
beautiful
little
beam
something
footage.
like this. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Victor Turansky has discovered the perfect actress.
Who is Simone? We know so little about her.
You can't hide her forever. Simone appears only when I want her to appear.
She's beautiful. She's talented.
Why are we here?
She's virtually perfect.
The star is digitized.
Are you ever going to tell the truth about me?
I'm going to tell the truth about you after your next picture.
I've never really seen Simone up close. Have you?
I will be checking in a very special guest. She must not be disturbed at any time for any reason whatsoever.
Is that you, Simone? I'm right here, beside you. I borrowed Victor's car. My God.
What do? Do you keep her locked in a box somewhere?
I love you. LA.
What happened when we dusted that whole hotel suite? What about the fingerprints?
Nothing.
This summer
You're going to get in a lot of trouble, Mr. Turansky.
Why do you have to bring that up?
comes a story about the illusion of reality.
The winner of Best Actress, Simone!
I want to thank my co-stars and the studio, of course. Thank you.
Why didn't she thank you?
Did she? No.
And the lies that have a life of their own.
What's the matter, Victor? You look so sad.
Gonna be a little change in plans, Simone.
See if they still love you after this. I swear, I made Simone.
Victor, she made you.
I'll destroy you.
From the creator of The Truman Show.
Don't you love me anymore?
She's indestructible.
Al Pacino. Simone.
Never stop believing!
America Online, keyword Simone. Guys, what are we doing around here? America Online.
I'm honestly very surprised and very delighted. I'm gonna just right away give that like a 7.5. I mean, that doesn't sound as good coming out of my mouth as it did in my brain, but like I was impressed.
That's
like,
good music. The music made it at least a 5.5 for me.
Really, I will legitimately watch this movie.
Love the Turtles.
This
I love
is
the Turtles
probably a
too.
super interesting movie to watch in 2020.
So
yeah,
I don't know if Charlie is gonna know what I'm talking about, but I have a sneaky feeling Derek's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Why don't I know what you're talking about?
I
don't get to know it
because you're younger than us. So
yeah, mute Charlie for this. There's just you and me right now. What do you want to tell me? Come on.
So I haven't seen this movie, but I saw the Disney Channel movie that is basically this movie. Do you remember the Disney Channel original movie that's like this?
Maybe.
It's like this high
Sounds
school, like
familiar.
this high school computer was like a nerd, and like he was like, if I had a hot girlfriend, I'd be cool. And he basically made a hot girlfriend, but then he felt bad about it because he was like, oh shit, she's a human. Even though I made her, like she's like a human.
She got really popular or something.
Yeah.
She got really popular and yeah.
And it's so copying this. Like watching this trailer, I'm like, oh, that movie's not original. They were just copying this movie.
You guys are right. I'm too young. I don't remember this at all.
No, see, I barely remember this because I was young. I only knew this because my brother Frank would let me sleep on the floor of his
What
bedroom
year did this
sometime.
movie come out? What
This
movie did
one's
Simone come out?
02, looks like. Strange Science, correct. And someone in the chat said weird. I believe it's Weird Science, but it's the same.
Oh,
like
wait, was
making a girl.
Thank you. This is so awesome that we have like people that can. Yeah.
I
Weird
love that.
Science. Yeah. Oh wait,
Yeah.
Weird Science came out in 1985.
Yeah.
So wow, that was actually way before.
Yeah, well, it's a sci-fi movie.
Making
It's,
like fake people are no. That's not a new concept.
It's like it's a classic sci-fi concept, which is why I was so into it. It's like the idea that if you create like intelligence, is it is it real? Is it like, does it need
It's
to be?
super funny that it's Al Pacino.
And
he's like,
look, the cast
he's
looks
like,
great.
and he's like scrolling through her backgrounds, and at this point, it looks like Zoom backgrounds.
Yeah.
Paris,
It's like,
Rome, Kentucky.
Do I believe that Al Pacino could create an AI? No. But do I like the concept? Do I like the guy who made... I mean, I love The Truman Show, but... I mean...
Ex Machina.
I'm going to watch this.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, but also like Deus Ex Machina is like the concept. I mean, it's I forget. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
So Charlie, we alluded to it.
Here, I have to look this up now.
Explain to the audio listeners what the hell was happening in that movie.
In an Al Pacino voice.
if you can.
Please do an Al Pacino voice the best you can. Even if it's bad, it'll be great.
Okay.
This is my movie.
So we got a guy, and he made a
He's
fucking
trying his
robot
best.
actor. I'm literally trying to look up something on the internet at the same time.
Focus on the
No,
trailer,
do that
Charlie.
in the voice too. Oh, how do I Google the...
Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, that thing that I was saying before, not what I thought it was. Okay, so we got a guy, Al Pacino.
That's his name. Don't wear it out.
And he's got a hand of these fucking computers, and he's made an actress, the perfect actress, beautiful actress, the best actress in the world. And nobody knows she's not real, and they all think she's real, but he's an imposter because...
Imposter!
He's driving around with a mannequin trying to make sure everyone realizes that he's real, that she's real. Anyway, so yeah, I'll go back to my real voice now.
And he like Ferris Bueller
No, that was good.
in the car.
So yeah, he totally did. So I'm gonna give that.
Also
so
like
so you said
at Bernie's.
So you said you gave it a 7.5. I give it a 5.5. Derek, have you rated this yet?
Oh, it's a 6. It's all right. It's fine.
Did you see the movie?
Yeah, I did, but I was like, it was on. Like, I think I like used my parents' credit card while they were at work, like that summer, to order this movie on pay-per-view.
Did
You're
you like
bad boy, Derek Blythe.
I think I did. I know I watched this, and I'm trying to think of what means, and I'm sure that had to be it.
God, I love the backstory behind how Derek watches movies. Like Derek will never be like, yeah, I was bored. It was on Netflix, so I clicked it. It's never like that. You're always like, well, so there I was. It was the summer of '08, and it was me against the world.
I was dripping sweat in Vietnam, but I had a Wi-Fi signal.
I love it. I love it.
But like for a lot of the
I could hear you. I could hear your stories about watching movies for the rest of my life. It's amazing.
Well, you asked me to do a podcast, so you're welcome. No, but like I'd be home on weekends during the summer, like when we were not at school, and I just there's like one summer where we had enough money to have a TV. satellite. Like cable, and there was one channel that just played trailers on repeat, and I was just like,
yeah, I know that channel,
just like a 12-year-old possibly autistic person watching them all over and over again. So
you're
that
speaking
summer,
my language, dude. I know with that channel.
Leave it on. I'd leave it on and then like lay out my Pokemon cards on the floor and just admire them while hearing this trailer over and over and over again. And
dude, I used to watch the Lord of the Rings. So I remember I had this movie trailer channel just like you, and I remember that Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring came out. They had that trailer, and I would watch all the trailers just to hope that I would see that trailer again, because that's like my all-time favorite trailer, the Fellowship of the Ring trailer. It's so fucking good. But I feel you.
It'd be like 5 trailers all day, and like punctuated by like, do you know how to use your DirecTV remote?
Yes,
let's take a trip.
Yes. Yeah, fucking, I was on that with you.
And
we were
then
watching the same shit.
It would go back to whatever, being John Malkovich.
Charlie, no offense, you're too young to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, Charlie, get lost. Scream.
Yeah. I was I was just looking up all the different movies this guy wrote. So the guy who made Simone, fun fact, I'm the fun fact guy now. That's the fun fact.
Did you see how salty I got?
Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm the fun fact
So
guy now.
he did Gattaca, the movie with what's his name? What's the guy's name in that?
Lance Armstrong?
No, like something Hawk
Jonathan,
or something.
Ethan Hawke?
Anthony Hawke.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke. You saw that? Yeah.
Ethan Hawke in the comments.
And so he seems to be like a guy who directs like us or who writes a screenplay and or directs a sci-fi movie like every 5 to 7 years.
Well, I hate to be the party pooper.
He wrote the screenplay for because I was mostly
I
just
hate to
trying
be
to
the
find the
party
connection.
pooper, but we're running out of time, and I really need your tomato scores. You silly people.
I don't think if this movie is that forgotten, and I've never even heard of it, but I still think I'd watch it. I think I'd watch it. I think this is gonna be a 56.
Whoa.
59. Joey, 59. 59.
59?
Joey, 59. Joey,
It's
59.
It's 50. Derek, I love you,
59,
man.
Joey. 59.
I always
Joey,
root for you.
59, Joey.
Derek, you're gonna make me cry. We
Joey!
both watched the same. We both watched the same movie trailer. I know. I want you to win, but Charlie won. Derek, I have bad news. I don't think you're the trailer king anymore.
Dethroned.
Look at my real tears. Look at my real tears.
I know. I wanted to be a 59. It's not.
What was the
Derek,
score?
look at my real tears. It's 50. Charlie wins. I hate that Charlie wins. 59.
Why? I'm fucking awesome.
No one wants you to win. You're just a sound guy.
Wait, what
Come
was
on.
it? I was having an episode.
It was a 50. It was a 50. You went above me. It was below me.
It was a 50. It was a 50.
And now you can below me.
As we take this in, Charlie, can you talk about Roger Ebert and his review? Derek and I are mourning right now.
Wow, he gave it a 2. Wow. So everything we were talking about before about how he gives everything a 3 or a 4, this one got a 2. So he must have not liked it. Let's read that last paragraph, shall we?
I love his last paragraph and his weird neck. I love everything.
What?
What?
His weird neck? Are you talking about the cancer he had, you fucking asshole?
Oh, you want to talk about cancer now? Fuck you.
No,
Charlie.
I'm trying to avoid this conversation.
Gentlemen.
All right.
Gentlemen, please.
The problem, I think, is that in aiming for too wide an audience, Nickel has made too shallow a picture. The Truman Show and Gattaca push their premises. Simone settles for the predictable. The story elements echo the sad experiences of the team assembled to make Final Fantasy. The summer of the 2001 sci-fi movie that failed at the box office, that movie was made up of entirely real characters generated by computers, including Aki Ross, the heroine, who, all things considered, is a more intriguing woman than Simone, whose appearance is provided by the actress Rachel Roberts. The Final
What is
Fantasy.
he talking about?
He's saying that the actual woman in there's a female character who's not an AI robot was a better character than the robot. That's what he's saying. The Final Fantasy team labored for 4 years and achieved everything they dreamed of and were rejected by the public. Much more interesting than a director who has an unimaginable success fall into his lap.
So I have a really fun fact for this movie that I think Ebert, if he knew this fun fact, would have freaked out. The director of this movie, he originally wanted to use CGI and create his own character actress to play the CGI character in this movie, but then he didn't do it because he was like. Because he was
2002 CGI.
Yeah, that would have been brutal.
Because he thought it wouldn't look good, but mainly he thought, what if actors never want to work with me again after I do that? They'll be like, you're the guy who is taking jobs away from actors, and then I'll be done in Hollywood.
Man, why don't you just use CGI, you asshole?
Yeah. He thought he thought like actors wouldn't want to work with him ever again if he did it, and that's why he went against it. Imagine if they actually used a CGI human to play a CGI human in a CGI human movie.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that it's just it's more or less like that. If anything, it was the time period. Like they could do it now. Like there's a lot. Have you seen like what is it like Love, Sex, and
Love
Robots
Actually? That's my favorite movie.
No, Love, Death, and Robots. You know what
I
I'm
love
talking
Love
about?
Actually.
They actually have some like really crazy shit now, but like back then, that would have just been another. I mean, actually, I don't even know what I'm saying because this was forgotten anyway, so there's no point. I was gonna say that it would have been another one of those movies with the bad CGI that everyone forgot about in 2002, but now it's just one of the movies without the bad CGI that was forgotten about in 2002.
So, guys, we watched all the trailers. We did all the tomato games. We did the Ebert. Charlie, unfortunately, won it. Is there any last thoughts you have about imposter movies before we call it a night? Derek? Nothing?
Derek's an imposter. That's not really Derek. It's a CGI woman
me,
made by
guys.
this.
It's me. Let's just hang out.
Charlie.
Let's hang out in a corner of the room with our backs turned and our defenses lowered.
So, since no one has any last comments, I guess that is it for the Imposter episode of Trailer Trashing. I was your host, Joey Rinaldi. They were Charlie Weinschenk and Derek Blythe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you for the people on Twitch for sticking with us through all the technical difficulties and everything. If you like what you heard, do us a big favor. Go on the podcast app. Give us 5 stars. Follow us on Instagram. And if you have any thoughts, questions, concern, you can DM us or email us. And we want to hear your comments and thoughts.
Or you could
have a
get
great night.
lost.
Or get lost. Have a great night, everyone. And we'll see you next week, Knuckleheads. Bye.